Now Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Bates' kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a 3-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Lions take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. You can talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on that defensive side of the ball.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. They go here with a former Lion. It's DeAndre Swift. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Throwing is Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? The nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him. Otherwise, you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 3rd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to...
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Here comes the Bears punter now. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Goff now to throw. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap for Goff. Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And they'll take over here following the interception with a chance to tie the ball game. It's 1st and 10. To throw, Williams. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Swift going to try up the middle. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a 1st at the Lions 16. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
3rd down and 1. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Once again, it's Swift. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
That's to Moore, and he's got it. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there with an amazing diving catch. And the Bears are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So out now come the Lions. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Gibbs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort. Turn it into a successful play.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff. Wright's got it. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Gibbs straight ahead. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 1st half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Over the middle and taken in by Laporta. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Five wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Goff now looking to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Tim Patrick, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Lions will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. But the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Looking to throw is Williams.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Williams. A short throw there. That's to Smythe, the tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
To the air, Williams.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
To throw, it's Williams.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
In the first half, it was the Alabama man, Jahmyr Gibbs, who had it cooking. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
They'll let this go deep for St. Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Play action. It's gone. That is caught. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
A good effort there from Gervon Dexter. He drops him behind the line.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Goff. Over the middle, complete. That's Gibbs. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Stopped on the play by Jaquan Brisker.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. In motion goes Patrick. To throw is Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Here's Goff. That's to the tight end, Laporta. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Out of the gun, Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Gibbs. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And even with the loss on first down, they did a nice job holding on to the football. And they can still run it 2 more times and take some time off the clock and even take some of the timeouts away from the defense and then possibly kick a field goal and go up 2 scores. They're in a great spot.
Back to throw, Goff. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal. Now Goff. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Brock Wright from 3 yards out. And the Lions have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here this 4th quarter. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Now the try here for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return, here's Tyler Scott. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The last series form, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Williams. He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
From the gun, here's Williams. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. He'll get this one to Patrick. call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. Now it's gone. That's complete to Laporta. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Trying the left side with Gibbs. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll go again with Gibbs. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Counter play. Here's Gibbs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Hand off now to Gibbs. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Lions have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line. And here, they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
Now the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest, and this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Throwing is Williams.
And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again.
7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Working out of the gun, Williams.
Again, he finds Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
To the sideline and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw, Williams.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw once more, here's Williams.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They'll go. Here's Williams. A pass complete to Adunze.
And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will take over. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Chicago.